haunting. And there he was, her past in the flesh, standing before her, looking as uneasy as she felt. She'd spent years rebuilding herself after leaving him, and even more years quieting the discontent he'd sown deep into her soul. As she met his gaze, that old feeling washed through her like a tsunami. Her impeccably composed life fell apart, and, as always, she had little control over whatever storm John was about to bring crashing down on her. How many times had he told her she needed to calm down and relax, live in the moment, worry about the rest later? She'd never mastered those particular attributes that had always come naturally to him. However, even with his laid-back attitude toward life, crow's feet had cut deep lines around his eyes and pronounced parentheses curved around his mouth, making him look much older than his— how old was he now? 56 years. Gray peppered his brown hair, especially around his temples. His shoulders stooped slightly, as if he carried the weight of the world. Or years of guilt. She stared, unmoving in her chair. Her heavy heart held her down like an anchor in a wild sea of rage. What did he expect her to do? Smile? She couldn't. Hug him? She wouldn't. After staring in deafening silence for several long seconds, John gave her a lopsided grin that was as familiar as his knock. She used to find the half-hearted smile charming. She used to find a lot of things about this man charming. By the time she left him, she couldn't even find something she liked. "Hey, you." His voice, as it always had, settled over her like a warm blanket. Only now that blanket seemed to be made of fiberglass. His deep baritone felt like 1,000 invisible splinters embedding into her skin. "It's been a while, huh? 24 years?" Her voice came out hoarse, cracked, broken. She gestured to a chair on the other side of her desk. "Sit." His feet seemed to be as glued to the floor as her body was to her chair. Or stand, whatever suits you. Gathering the papers she'd been studying before his arrival gave her a legitimate reason not to look at him longer than she already had. The pages didn't need to be stacked in perfect alignment, but she tapped them on her desk, one side, then the other, and back again, until they were. She didn't realize he'd sunk into the chair until he slid a Snickers candy bar across her desk. There it was, the peace offering. The lame gift that always paled in comparison to the offense for which he was trying to make amends. He gave her that smile again. "That used to be your favorite." It had been years since she'd eaten a Snickers. She'd changed her bad eating habits long ago. The candy was far too sweet for her now. Even so, she set the bar aside with the papers. "Thank you." Her gratitude sounded as empty as it felt. "You go by Carol now," he pointed out. You always hated being called that. You said it sounded too old." "Well, I'm older." His tilted smile returned. "Aren't we all?" "No," she said coolly. "Not all of us." His face sagged for a few seconds, and then he continued as if she hadn't intentionally gut-punched him. "You got remarried?" "Yes." "Did you have kids?" Tapping into the Ice Queen facade he'd often accused her of, she froze her heart from the inside out, which had always been her go-to defense where John was concerned. "No." He glanced around her office, the commercialized space with cherry-colored bookshelves that held medical dictionaries and binders of federal guidelines, a desk polished every night by the custodial team none of the executives ever saw, and framed degrees that were supposed to relay her competence for sitting in the sterile environment. "Look at this place. You've done good for yourself, kiddo." "I'm not a kid, John. I am a grown woman who's made a life for herself despite the damage you caused." He pressed his lips together as if to stop himself from rebutting. Oh, how easily she fell into another of her old defense tactics, rebuffing any attempt he made at civility in case he was drawing her in for the kill. "Sorry, that just came out." "No, it's okay. I blindsided you by showing up. Seeing me can be easy for you." Carol looked out to the water. "It's June. June is difficult." "Her birthday is tomorrow." She cut her gaze to him. "I know." Staring at his hands, he toyed with a gold band on his left ring finger. Carol hadn't cared enough to ask if he'd remarried, but clearly he had. If his sudden appearance hadn't shaken her so deeply, she might have inquired about his new life. Asked what kind of poor...